Good afternoon. Is everyone ready? Okay. Good afternoon. I'm Attorney Ben Crump, along with Attorney Seth Miller of the Florida Innocence Project, as well as Attorney Natalie Jackson and Attorney Sue Ann Robinson, and a new addition to our legal team on this important case, a person who is no stranger to holding Camden County Sheriff's Department accountable for the pattern and practice of atrocities and violating civil rights of citizens, especially black citizens. We have Attorney Harry Daniels joining the team and representing the family of Leonard Cure. Standing beside me is his mother, Miss Mary Cure. We have his sister, Marie Cure. We have his brother, Michael Cure. And we have his other brother, Wallace Cure, who, as we said last time at the last press conference, when they were heartbroken to find out that Leonard had been killed by the sheriff's deputy after he had recently been exonerated after being wrongfully convicted for 16 years. They vow that they would fight for justice. And so with the NAACP President Tim Besant and the NAACP and the community, we're all fighting for Leonard. We won't let it be swept under the rug. And therefore, we are announcing today, Attorney Daniels and I, that we're filing a notice of intent against Camden County for the wrongful death of Leonard Cure for $16 million. That number is significant to the family because it represents $1 million for every year that he was wrongfully convicted. They thought that they would have 16 years with him at least after he had been taken from them wrongfully for 16 years after his liberty had been taken. He had been thrown in a box and wrongfully, no crime, and they had just barely got him back. Him and his mother talked every day. He would visit her frequently, had just bought a home in Georgia. I mean, everything was going right for Leonard. Things were looking up until he had this encounter with this sheriff's deputy, Buck Aldridge. Attorney Daniels will go into detail about the history of this sheriff's deputy and put forth the argument we don't believe he should have ever been a deputy at this point. When you look at the history of his violating the civil rights of citizens, especially citizens of color. I mean, and Attorney Daniels will get into more detail, but we know in 2017 he was removed from the police department over the allegation of him slamming a woman. And then in 2022, the video of him brutally assaulting a young black motorist who was subdued, was restrained, was no threat, and he engaged in brutal excessive force. And you don't have to take Ben Crump's word for it. You don't have to take Harry Daniels or Natalie Jackson. Go look at the video for yourself. That video is flagrant. And I understand that Attorney Daniels outlined even before that in 2014, he had other allegations of excessive force where citizens said he had brutalized them. So Camden County had plenty of notice about the propensity of this officer to engage in excessive force. And we believe it was this propensity that escalated what happened leading up to the death of Leonard Cure. And so we are fighting for this family. We're fighting for Miss Mary because she said, I had just got my son back. It's not right, Attorney Crump, that they would take him away from us. We had just got him back. And so you're going to hear from the family. But before you do that, I want one of the best civil rights lawyers in America, and my fraternity brother, we've worked on a lot of cases together, and he's a brilliant young lawyer who knows this county well. He's going to articulate to you the substance of the notice of intent. Good Omega man, Harry Daniels.
Appreciate it, Attorney Crump. First off, it's an honor and a privilege to be here to be a part of the legal team to represent the Cure family in this injustice. You know, this should never happen. Should never happen in the first place. You had ample of opportunity, plenty of notice of Buck Aldridge pass. I'm not going to refer to him as a deputy because a deputy don't act like that. We had plenty of notice. As Attorney Crump mentioned, 2014, 2016, where he was placed on suspended, assigned mandated counseling, probation, and sent for remedial training. That's at the Kingsland Police Department. But that wasn't good enough because in 2017, he was up to the same old tactics, violating people's constitutional rights, unlawful use of force. Kingsland Police Department did what the Camden County Police Department should have done in 2022. They fired him. His records went up to post. He didn't respond. We have to, look, y'all, you don't have to take Attorney Crump's word for it. My word, it's all there in writing. We would submit that and give that to you all. If you see this video in 2022 where he stopped this young African-American after a brief police chase, young man Wayman Cash in an accident, laying across the seat of the passenger car. He opened the door, holsters his gun, and punches him as hard as he can. Unlawful use of force. It's egregious. Tased him multiple times with no resistance, just because. And Attorney Crump, you know what they did over at the Camden County Sheriff's Office?
What's that?
Nothing.
My Lord.
No discipline.
Nothing.
Nothing. Now the GBI, not only they investigating the death of Leonard, they got to go back and investigate the death, the excessive beating of Wayman Cash. Because this is the first time, President Bessett, that they heard about it.
Wow.
This is the first time I heard about it, but this is no secret. We had the same incident in Jared Hobbs when the president, Tim Bessett, NAACP, went to the same sheriff office and asked questions, what's going on with Jared Hobbs? Nothing going on with him. But y'all saw what happened to Jared Hobbs when the video got produced. Beaten mercilessly inside a jail cell, naked by multiple officers. He was charged with beating them. But when the video came out, what happened? They got charged. His cases got dismissed. This is a pattern. This is a culture at this sheriff's office. Those are just a few cases. You got multiple cases of inmates getting beaten. Y'all covered them. Zaire Raffles, Adam Drummond. The list goes on and on. This is only tip the iceberg of what's happening at the Camden County Sheriff's Office. Now let's come back to October 2023. If the policies would have been followed, the practices that you lay out in your handbooks would have been adhered to, Mother Cure, we would not be here today.
Right.
But unfortunately, we are here because injustice is afoot in Camden County, not just on the Leonard Cure case, but to the citizens. I beg the citizens of Camden County, if you have been assaulted, brutalized by anybody in Camden County Sheriff's Office, you can call my law firm, 678-664-8529. We easily find online. You can call Attorney Big Crump, send him an email, because enough is enough. And I told y'all, this is not a case of a bad apple. I told you it's a bad apple orchard. And I told you, eventually, they was going to kill somebody. And that's exactly what happened. We talk about the LaToya James cases. This is a matter, as they say, it should never happen. He should never been here. We filed a notice of intent to sue. And the reason why notice of intent is filed, because in the state of Georgia, you have to get notices and bringing lawsuits on certain state claims. Not federal claims, but certain state claims. You do have certain state claims that's in with our intent to bring this lawsuit. So we give the sheriff office of the county an opportunity to review those claims. First claim, 1983, excessive force in violation of the Fourth Amendment. And I know that y'all seen the video and you got mixed reviews on the video, but let me tell you this. Let me inform you about the state of Georgia and so many other states. You see, when Leonard was pulled over, and Buck Ulrich, who we know have a history of escalating and beating black men unarmed and slamming women on the ground and striking motorcycles on the pit maneuvers, that he did exactly what he used to be doing. He used to escalate. Leonard complied with him. He told him to put his hands on the back of the truck, and he did. He said turn his head, and he did. He told him to put his hand behind his back, and before Leonard had an opportunity to put his hands up, he tased him. Now, in the state of Georgia, any unlawful use of force against you can be repelled with lawful force. Now, I'm not telling you to fight the police, but you got to understand is that the first aggressor in this case was Buck Ulrich. The first person who initiated some type of force was Buck Ulrich. Now they talk about stand your ground. I know you're very familiar with that.
Yep.
Well, Leonard had just as much right to stand his ground when these volts are going inside his body to repel those attacks. Unfortunately, this coward officer shot and killed him. But that does not mean that Leonard did anything wrong, because the law, which clearly defined in the state of Georgia, in 11th Circuit supports his response. But what he found out that day is that you have a rogue officer who's going to take him to jail for speeding instead of just give him a speeding ticket.
Yep.
That's what it's there for. That's what the piece of paper is there for. Give you a ticket. He decided that he was going to escalate, and that's why we're here today. He has a history. He has a past. This lawsuit is forthcoming. Make no mistake about it. This is not a public event that we just putting on. This is legitimate. We are planning on bringing a positive practice lawsuit against this sheriff office. We are sick and tired of coming to Camden County, and the citizens of Camden County are being beaten, brutalized, and killed. We are sick and tired of it, and we're gonna put an end to it today.
Amen.
With that being said, we're going to have Tim to come up, President NAACP, Tim Bessett, to speak. He can tell you more about the past and history of this sheriff office. This man is fighting, he's on the front lines now for the citizens of Camden County.
Well, again, to same sentiment the other attorneys had, enough is enough. Mr. Daniels and Mr. Crump and others, they're not here. But I'm here in Camden County every day. I hear the complaints from the citizens of Camden County.
Yes, sir.
A lot of these complaints go unnoticed, but we're fighting with everything that we have that a change might take place in Camden County.
Thank you.
There are numerous of cases where you have police officers assaulting the citizens of Camden County. And let me just make reference to this. I was in the sheriff's office along with 2 other individuals. My question to the sheriff was, why was Buck Aldridge even on the force? Considering his history. The sheriff's response to me was, and I got witnesses to back that claim, I knew that he was terminated but I didn't know why he was terminated. He broke a policy, but I didn't know what that policy was. Here you have a sheriff who's finna swear a deputy in, know that he violated a policy, and state that he don't know what the violation was. Of course, we didn't believe that. Certainly he knew what it was.
Yes, sir.
This individual was terminated from a Kingland Police Department for excessive force, violating individuals' rights. So we're going to continue to fight for the citizens of Camden County. We're going to continue to fight that there will be a change take place within this department. Because this is just tiresome. Press conference after press conferences. Families after families. Phone calls after phone calls. Can somebody help us? It's gotten so bad, and you heard it before, that the insurance company that this county had, they dropped and they said, it's just enough. We don't want to carry you no longer. That's just how bad it has gotten in Camden County. So we're here today, the NAACP of Camden County. We're standing with the Cure family and any other family that have been mistreated at the hands of these Camden County deputies. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, President Bassett. Thank you, Attorney Daniels, Attorney Jackson. It takes a team to fight this type of injustice. And now you're going to hear from the people who knew Leonard best and their feelings today as they fight for justice, because they know if the shoe was on the other foot, Leonard would be fighting for them. You know, Leonard had been offered many a times when he was wrongfully convicted, just plea. Just take the path of least resistance. But Leonard said, no, I'm going to stand on truth. And that's what this family is standing on. They want the truth so they can get justice. And so we will have his older brother, Michael Ware, address you first. Michael.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
No, Michael.
Yes. Okay. All right. Thank you. Here I stand before you once again, and my heart is completely broken. My brother, once again, was an exceptional individual who did not deserve what he received in Camden County. And what I can say to you today is every individual in this county of color should fear for his or her life. With officers like this patrolling the streets, you really should fear for your lives. That's my suggestion to you, my recommendation. Change need to come to Camden County. You cannot tolerate you cannot change what you tolerate. If you're tolerating this type of excessive abuse, it will not change. So my suggestion is vote, do whatever it is you have to do. Once again, my brother was a magnificent guy. He celebrated, well, he would have celebrated his 53rd birthday, Thanksgiving, November 23rd. That was his birthday. So I, along with all of my siblings, had to celebrate Thanksgiving and his birthday without him. Florida took him from us for approximately 17 years, and Camden County took him from us permanently after 3 years. So we've lost him again, thanks to the racism and discrimination exhibited by Camden County Police. So, as I said earlier, I will reiterate. My brother was an exceptional individual, and he was very, very forgiving. I'm not. I promise you, I will detest, despise, and loathe these racist pieces of feces until my last breath. I am angry and I am outraged. I'll be honest. I am not happy about this. And many of you may assume that because they're suing for an outrageous amount of money, that can't compensate. I want my brother back. He deserves to be here. He does. He deserves to be here, celebrating his birthday, celebrating holidays with us.
But some racist officer felt, or as the young man said, he won't refer to him as a deputy or an officer, and he's not. A racist piece of feces, as I refer to him. That is what he is. And an absolute coward. That without a gun, I assure you, you already know, without a gun, he's nothing but a coward. So that being said, I want justice for my brother. And justice for my brother looks like this guy going to jail for at least 16 years, which is what my brother served for doing nothing.
Thank you, Michael. And I know y'all emotions are strong, so thank you for making it plain for your brother how you feel.
That's right.
And before we hear from Leonard's mother, we will hear from his other brother, Wallace Ware.
Yes. Justice for Leonard looks like this to me. Buck Eldridge suffers a similar fate as Derek Chauvin, even up to the most recent incident that Chauvin endured while in prison. In addition to that, justice looks like laws being passed that are similar to other professions. If an attorney is disbarred, can't practice for 5 years, and then he has to retake the bar. If a doctor loses their license, they can no longer practice in the state. How is that not applicable to other professions? If a truck driver get a DUI, he can't drive for 7 years. Why is the exception for law officers? Eldridge Buck was fired. Fired. He should have been decertified, never to serve as a police officer in any state, any county, any municipality. But he went right up the street, 15 minutes, and got another job within 9 months. An attorney can't practice for 5 years. How is it that this animal was allowed to get back into law enforcement in 9 months? Is he brothers with Prescott? Does he have naked pictures of him? Is he holding someone hostage? How does that happen? Justice is not about $16 million. It's about Buck Eldridge and others paying the penalty for this injustice.
Thank you very much. Now, Wallace, thank you. We will hear from Michael's mother, Miss Mary Ware, and then we will try to take some of your questions. Attorney Daniels and I feel most of them. Miss Mary.
My son, when he was telling you who should not be allowed to practice, he left out one category, and those are pedophiles. Pedophiles, names are given, put out, posted, records are kept. They are supposed to report. People know where they are. When you are dealing with a situation or in a job capacity where you carry a gun, couldn't that be more important than someone? I mean, you can't say one is worse than the other. But why are you running around with a damn gun when you got fire down the street? My son, you killed him twice. He was killed in 2003 with a life sentence for something he didn't do. He's on his way home. He just got a house to refurbish it, to fix it up the way that he wanted to, and he's shot down. How do you think I feel? For 17 years when he was behind bars, I lived in fear. When he came out, I did not have one day of peace. You know why? Because he was fearful too. He was afraid of guns. I always felt that one day, someday, the police officer was going to show up at my door and said, he's been killed. But I didn't think it would be that soon. But I knew something would happen with the police because he had been stopped before for nothing. People weren't happy that he had been exonerated. Oh, well, he should have taken a plea deal. Leonard was a person who believed in telling the truth. He was not a liar. And it hurt him to his heart when he told you the truth and you disbelieved him. Broward County turned down so many motions. I helped him work on it. I helped him file the 2254. I'm not a lawyer. I'm a nurse. I have 8 children. I'm their mother. So whatever it takes, that's what I'm going to do. And so for the rest of my life, you are going to see me out here standing up for my son, Leonard Cure.
Amen. Amen.
I don't care what it takes. If I fall down in front of the cameras, I would have been here for Leonard Cure because my son did not deserve this. He did not. He did nothing wrong. How do you get killed for a traffic ticket? How does that happen? Why are you even pulling a gun on somebody for a traffic ticket? Why do you have to use excessive force anyway? You know, there are other parts of the body you could shoot if you feel you have to. But no, your first thought is to kill them. Why? Why? So now, the worst thing that has happened to me, and the other thing that I feared is I am now a part of a group of women whose sons have been killed for literally nothing, but just being black. How about that? How would you feel? On his 53rd birthday, we were going to celebrate. Thanksgiving came and my son was not there. All the years he was in prison, I was there for every birthday of his, every birthday. All the holidays, I was there. Even if I was sick, I showed up. He could count on that. We were very close. Now I have nothing but friggin' memories, horrible memories. Driving here, coming up 95, my heart was racing. As we got closer and closer, I was on the brink of tears because I could feel the fear. Leonard was afraid of guns.
Yes.
He was terrified of guns. And as soon as we were getting closer and closer, I thought my heart would jump out of my chest. And I don't want to be in this county at dark. I don't. I don't even want to be here in the daytime. And I hate Georgia. Make that plain. I hate this damn state. But what it did to my parents, and now it has taken my son. So I have no love for this state at all. And like I said, I'll reiterate, I'm going to be here in front of you guys until I see some means of restitution, compensation, whatever you want to call it, for my son. And no, the money doesn't mean a damn thing to me. I would rather have my child back. Because compensation would be to me, give me my son back. Broken, flawed, a clone, whatever he is, animal, whatever you want to call him, that's my baby.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Miss Mary. Thank you very much, Miss Mary. At this time, we will try to take some of your questions, if you have any.
Let me say this.
Yes, sir.
Miss Mary said something that stood out to me. Why? The reason why, because it was tolerated by this sheriff over here. We're going to say sheriff office. Sheriff, what's his name? Jim Proctor? Yeah, Proctor. Sheriff Jim Proctor. It was tolerated. You don't know what his incident was or why he was fired at Kingsley. That's unconscionable that a department head or an elected official wouldn't know that. Yeah. That's not believable.
He should lose his job.
Then you see an incident in 2022, an absolute beating,
Brutal.
unnecessary, brutal, and nothing has happened. The why is clear. The why is because the man who's elected in this office over here not doing his job. That's why. Y'all can ask some questions. Y'all have some questions. That's the state where your agent you're from, and we'll do our best.
Your notice of intent was sent by mail, is that right?
That's correct.
All right. When was it sent?
I believe yesterday. You should have a copy. Your agency news station should have a copy of it now.
Just making sure how it was. And it gives them 30 days, is that right?
Well, it's not really 30 days. That intent is sent over. If they want to have a conversation, prior to suit to investigate it, they can. We have all the intentions to bring a federal lawsuit.
Yeah.
But nevertheless, within the state of Georgia, certain claims you have to give intent. Some people call them anti-litums with cities, but you have to give the state or sheriff office notice to bring certain state claims, not federal, but state claims.
Just asking, yeah, what's the time, how long do you wait before you can file?
Well, that's subject to the legal team strategy until we'll see.
We are, hopefully, if they were to step up and try to engage the family, we won't go the time it takes to bring state claims. But as Attorney Daniel said, we have the discretion to bring the federal claims immediately, claims of excessive force.
Do you expect this to be filed by the end of the year?
Now, where we filed the notice of intent, that was filed yesterday, so it's already been filed. And then the lawsuit will be filed, depending on what they do, and then what the family feels they must do.
Hopefully by the end of the year, the lawsuit.
No.
We'll see.
Yeah.
To be determined.
Last time we were here, the district attorney had not made any decision yet on criminal charges. Have y'all heard anything from him since?
No.
The
President
report I
Bessie.
got is that they're waiting on GBI to finish their investigation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To-
GBI was in the making of him being fired the first time. GBI investigates all police officers' shootings and misconduct in the state of Georgia. So, according to what I was told, what I've read, they're waiting, the DA is waiting on a statement from Georgia Bureau of Investigation.
And let me say this, that's correct. The Georgia Bureau of Investigation, not only they're investigating the shooting of Leonard, they also investigate other matters, especially of the 2022 use of force as well. So all that hopefully be considered, given to the district attorney in Brunswick for consideration of any charges. I will tell you this, there's no way to get around it. The unlawful use of this taser to initiate this action against Leonard was unlawful. That was the initiation, that was the beginning of this whole use of force. And the district attorney need to look at that, who initiated, and whether Leonard had the right to defend himself. If any citizen have the right to defend themselves, then Leonard have the right to defend himself. Don't matter if the first aggressor wear a badge, shield, or star. That's the law in Georgia. And it's also the law in Florida as well. Any other questions?
Well, let me say this. I know President Besson of the NAACP, the family is so very grateful for his leadership, has continued to engage what the DA is going to do. And so I'm sure whenever that decision is made, the NAACP president will let the family and the public know. We also believe in because of Attorney Daniels' very good work, that the federal government is investigating the cases of the Camden County Sheriff's Department. You know, that litany of cases that he rolled down. I mean, those on video. I mean, it's visual evidence. You don't have to take our word. Go just look at the video, the ocular proof of the excessive force. And that's why when Michael says that I want to put out a public service announcement to black people in this county, y'all aren't safe with these deputies policing and brutalizing you. Look at the videos.
And when you look at issues like Deputy, what's her name? Christian Newman, who slammed a young lady head into the vehicle, into her car, patrol car. White handcuffed. She was promoted.
Oh, wow.
She was not disciplined, she was promoted. Officer of the Year. When the video came out, she was indicted. He is protecting these rogue officers.
Yeah.
Wow.
Prescott.
Say what?
He's one.
There you go.
Because he's one.
It's not a bad apple, it's a bad apple orchard. I've told y'all over and over again, the death of Leonard Cure is an American tragedy. Make no mistake about it.
Amen.
16 years, 17 years in prison, just to find himself on the side of the road with somebody who never should even been there and lose his life. I work in law enforcement. A speeding ticket is a speeding ticket. You go home. You do not go to the morgue.
Yeah.
Attorney Crump.
Any last questions? We will keep you all apprised of the next steps. Continue to pray for his family as they go through the holidays without Leonard. Thank you all for covering this important story.
Thank you.
All right, Mr. Daniels.